Good morning or afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're at. This is Curtis Hawks, Chief Marketing Officer over here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. And I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your schedule to spend with us today. We've got a very exciting and interesting topic that we're going to cover today, which is generating a consistent flow of prospects in the current market. And we'll talk a little bit more about kind of what's going on in the marketplace and why we think this is such a great system. A couple of housekeeping items before we get started. One, I'm going to have 3 poll questions that I'm going to launch today, so I'd encourage you to engage with those. Secondly, we are going to try and leave a little bit of room at the end for questions, so if you can type those in as we're going through over the course of our presentation, we'll go ahead and cover those at the end of the presentation. And I know we've got a mix of agents on here, some agents that are currently doing business with us, some agents that maybe are just looking at us for the first time. So before we get into the main topic of today, I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking a little bit about some of the ways IAMS can partner with you, as well as some things that we have coming up on the horizon that I think we're going to have a lot of agents interested in. So first up is our new producer builders. And this is really a great way as a new advisor to IAMS that we can partner with you at a higher level. And so as you'll see on there, we've got different point totals, but as you hit those production levels with us, you can qualify for different types of things, whether it's marketing reimbursement or a marketing program or just cash or a weekend getaway. So you can see the point totals up there. I would also mention to you that customization is a core pillar of what we do. And so if you're doing something right now that's working really well for you, I would encourage you to reach out to a sales director over here and chat with them a little bit about that and how we can incorporate that into your business. And if you want additional information on this, certainly reach out to a sales director. Our phone number is 800-255-5055, and we'll mention that again here at the latter stages of the presentation. In addition to that, we've got our IAMS Business Builders. So first up is our Referred Producer Program. If you're currently working with us and you maybe know of an agent who isn't quite happy where they're at, or might benefit from some of the services and resources that we have available, not only will you get a $50 check when that agent gets contracted, you'll get an additional $100 when they place their first piece of business with us. And then on an ongoing basis, you can get additional revenue based off of their production. The nice thing for you is you don't have to do anything. We'll take care of all the service, support, the resources, and you've just got checks coming out to you on a quarterly basis. In addition to that, we've got our marketing reimbursement program. And this is really a great way to double the size of your marketing budget. So for every 100,000 of qualifying indexed annuity premium, you'll get an additional $100 contributed into your marketing dollars account, and $200 for every 100,000 of SPL, single premium life insurance, or for every 10,000 of target life premium. And so it's a great way to generate those additional advertising dollars. And that's one of the things that we've seen here over the course of the last year is it's not just about being creative, but depending on the market that you're in and how open it is, sometimes you have to spend a little bit more in advertising to get that same consistent flow of prospects. Back office support. I think this has really been highlighted, or there's been a spotlight put on it over the course of the last year. As carriers have gone remote and don't have staff in office, I think it's, really put a spotlight on having a good back office at your IMO, having a good team of people that really support your business, whether it's case design, new business, licensing, commission track, all of those types of things. And what I would tell you is if you haven't tried our service out, you need to. I believe we've got one of the best organizations out there and have a significant amount of attention to detail and making sure that we're providing all the resources that you need to get your business across the finish line. In addition to that, as many of you have started to transition over the last year, e-applications and virtual sales are an important element of what we do these days. And so the IAMS website is optimized for this. So we do integrate with Firelight. As you can see here, we've got a number of carriers that you have access to through the site, through Firelight, as well as we're always looking to add additional companies. And so you can see we've got some carriers here that we're going to be adding. In addition to that, we do integrate with iPipeline on the site. So whether you're doing annuity e-applications or life insurance e-applications, you can just go to our site and do both of those. Creative marketing solutions. I'd mentioned creative a little bit earlier, and I think that's really the case right now. One of the things that we found over the course of the last year is that a lot of advisors were doing different types of marketing that had worked well for a very long time, and then as COVID hit, they had to take a step back and reevaluate how they were going to market going into the future. And so today we're talking about a very effective marketing system, but we've got a number of services that we provide. And so one thing that I would mention to you, and I'm going to launch our first poll here, is we do offer a complimentary marketing analysis. And what that essentially is we go in, sit down with the advisor, and go through a series of questions with you. So identify what your goals are, how you're currently marketing, what marketing assets do you have, what's your target market that you want to get in front of, and look at your area and what you want to do, and then we'll put together a customized marketing plan. And what you get from that is a balanced path forward. And I think balance is the key. And there's 3 elements to balance. One is having a set goal. 2 is having a plan that you think will accomplish that goal. And the third is having the ability to modify that plan as you go forward and implement it. And right now is a great time to be doing this. We're right here at the halfway point of the year. And so it's a great time to look at where you at right now, what do you want the second half of the year to look like, and then what adjustments and modifications do you need to make. And so that's a free service that we offer here. You just have to reach out to your sales director and they can help you with that. So I'll go ahead and get this closed down here. And then we can move on to the next slide. As I alluded to when we were talking about e-applications, the IAMS website is a great resource for agents out there. Not only can you do e-applications on it, but you can run annuity quotes, life insurance quotes. We've got over 70 calculators that you can utilize on there, whether it's Roth conversions or 72T distributions, a whole myriad of different items. And in addition to that, we've got our sales resource library. And there are literally hundreds of different point of sale pieces that you can use on a range of topics, whether it's something basic like how do annuities or life insurance work, or what are traditional IRAs versus Roth IRAs, to loan regime and economic benefit split dollar and everything in between, all unbranded. And you can instantly download those and use those with your practice. And so as a licensed agent, you've got full access to that. So I'd encourage you, if you've got questions on how to get registered and get access to it, reach out and talk to a sales director today. Retirement Analyzer. And we're going to be talking about software a little bit today as well. But as we know, we're having the shift to technology. The ability to do virtual presentations and the ability to illustrate concepts and ideas to clients has become more and more important. And Retirement Analyzer is a very effective software at answering the #1 fear that most retirees have, which is, am I going to outlive my income in retirement? And what you can do in a simple and straightforward way with this platform is show somebody, based off of what you're doing right now, what is it going to look like when you retire? And if you had to make some adjustments, when would you want to know? Now or when it's too late to do anything about it? And you can actually get access to this for free through us. I would also mention to you as well that we also have our Stonewood platform, which is designed around the impact of taxation on retirement income, designed for overfunded life insurance sales. And we're going to be talking a lot about, obviously that's the topic today, is how to get in front of individuals that are concerned about that. So if you've got any questions on that, certainly feel free to reach out and talk to a sales director over here. In addition to that, I did want to mention IAMS Wealth Management. This was rolled out 4 years ago, and we've had significant growth in that time frame. And right now is a great time if you are thinking about incorporating AUM into your business. Right now is a great time to take a look at that. Charles and his team do an amazing job. And so I would encourage you, if you've got some questions on that, or you're thinking that that's something that you want to add to your practice, reach out, talk to Charles and his team, and they can talk to you about what they do, how they operate, and the value that they can help provide to your business. Incentive trips. We were very excited to announce our Top Producer Summit in January of this year. And last year was tough because we like getting together with our agents, and so it was tough with having to push stuff back and cancel a lot of our events. So we were very excited to roll this out at the beginning of the year. Qualification runs actually through June 30th of next year. And as you can see, it's a Mediterranean cruise. We'll be working our way around the boot of Italy, and it's very high end, all concierge level, everything included. And so it's 4.5 million points to qualify for that. Annuity and life insurance production does count toward that. And so I would encourage you to reach out, talk to a sales director. They can get you some additional information on it. But as you can see, it really is going to be an experience of a lifetime. We're really excited about rolling that out. In addition to that, we just rolled out our Escape to Paradise trip, which is going to be in March of next year. And this is in partnership with Athene. So it's based off of Athene production, but it's going to be an amazing event. The beach, golf, hiking, just a really nice getaway. It's $2 million of Athene annuity production to qualify for that. And so we've still got half the year left to qualify. So it's going to be a very, very nice event together with a lot of very good advisors. So great opportunity. And if you've got questions, reach out and talk to a sales director over here. Last, I wanted to talk about our Life and Annuity Academy. So we are very, very excited to get these events back online. So we've got our first one that's going to be at the end of September into October 1st coming up. And so we're also working on getting a second one set up as well. But this is really a great opportunity to not only learn sales strategies, concepts, positioning, but also learn about different marketing strategies, both brick and mortar as well as digital. And then we're also going to have 3 top producers at the event going through what they do in their practice and what are best practices that they incorporate that generate high levels of success for them. In addition to that, we'll have a number of advisors that you can network and interact with as well. So very good event. What I would encourage you to do if you have interest in that, and as I mentioned, it's going to be at the end of September, reach out, talk to a sales director and let them know that you have interest in attending that. But it really is going to be a good event. We're really excited to get these back on board. So with us today, we have Stephen Corcoran, who is a senior advisor with Juicebox, which is the platform that we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to launch our second poll here real quick. And this system is designed around overfunded life insurance. And so I'm launching a poll here to get a good sense of where IUL fits within everybody's practice. Stephen, while I'm launching this, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your day today to be with us, just so I can set the stage a little bit. Legislative risk is I think one of the big risks in the marketplace that doesn't get talked about enough. And what I mean by legislative risk, and we did a webinar training yesterday talking about this a little bit, but it's Congress's ability to change and shape the way that we save for retirement. It's Congress's ability to change the way in which we pay taxes. And in the marketplace right now, you don't have to go very far to see that there's a lot of stuff in the media about potential tax rate increases. And we talk a lot about diversification. We talk a lot about somebody's risk tolerance and should they be in stocks and mutual funds or safe money options like fixed and index annuities. But I think an equally important discussion going forward is horizontal diversification or tax diversification. And are you properly prepared for what you're going to pay in tax? Because the reality is that is one of the biggest expenses people will have in retirement is taxes and healthcare. So to that end, knowing that that's a big topic, this system that Stephen and his team oversee and implement is perfectly designed for that consumer who's concerned about taxes going up, who's concerned about the impact of taxation on their retirement savings. So with that, let me go ahead and I'm going to close this poll down and I will get this switched over to you real quick. There we go. So I just got that switched over. While you're getting your presentation teed up, Stephen, in your opinion, I know we're going to learn more about the platform, but why do you think you guys have been having the success that you have?
Great question. Well, first of all, thanks Curtis for organizing this and IAMS. Great question. Why do we have so many agents getting results with our program here at Juicebox? And what we found out pretty quickly, it wasn't just leads. Like everybody thinks it's all about the leads. Like we have amazing leads that go with it. But they need to be exclusivity of the leads. They got to be educated, they have to be qualified. And it's none of these bait and switches or smoke screens that we talk about in marketing. It's really we want to create a desired with a problem with a desired outcome that goes with it, but not just stop there. What we found out pretty quickly is we need a system. We need a system, a proven process that takes one prospect from creating a desired outcome and a problem all the way to close. So then there's a system that goes with it. So we found out there is 3 key components to the pie to guarantee results for the agents that we work with, which is about 350 plus, is the exclusivity of the lead. Then it's a system, that proven process. And then what we do, which is a lot differently, is we actually train that agent on how to utilize our system with text strategies, call strategies, closing strategies, as well as weekly coaching that goes with it. And we also have client success reps that work with that agent to make them more efficient utilizing our system, especially transitioning over into this virtual realm that goes into it. We just know that there needs to be a little extra steps than just a lead vendor per se. But great question.
Appreciate that. Well, I'll let you take it from here.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. Again, I am always humbled and always thankful to jump on with IAMS here and Curtis, because the way that they over deliver for their clients with all the tools and resources, that's why we connected, is because we always want to serve that agent at the highest potential that we can go into. But let's dive into the topic today, guys, is how to close more IUL clients guaranteed in as little as 2 weeks that go with it. That's exactly what we're going to cover. Like I said before, we're working with 350 agents. So my goal of this presentation is to really just educate you guys, really show you what isn't working, what a lot of people are going down and wasting money on, and also show you a reliable lead source that actually delivers on what they say they're going to do as well. So it's going to be really educational. It's going to be funny too. I tell notoriously bad jokes throughout this whole presentation, so just bear with me on that side of things. So what the program we call it is the preemptive advantage. And like I said before, it's 350 plus agents getting results continuously. These are active. It's not like past clients that go with it. And the reason why we guarantee results is because it's a 4-pillar process. Is how do we get a high net worth individual, get them properly educated, properly qualified, create a problem with their current retirement strategy with a desired solution to solve that. Then they create an investor profile. Then they get matched to build a relationship with that agent. And when we walk through that system, we get results like, and we only work with experienced agents as well. They got to be familiar with selling IULs, cash value whole life, annuities as well, because we lead with a strategy, not just a product that goes with it. So we have Mike here. He did 10K in his first month utilizing our system. He did 28K his second month utilizing our system. And the reason why he improved on his commissions and selling is because we look at that agent's KPIs, the key performance indicators of that agent from a quantitative outputs, the outputs that they're doing, their actions, their outputs, as well as the qualitative. So the quality of their conversation, the positioning of that conversation, the consultation, as well as the quoting and presenting side of things, because we notice a lot of agents needed help on that selling side of things, which I know Curtis over here at IAMS, as well as IAMS, is very familiar with Stone Wood. They're an amazing platform, highly recommend that. That integrates with us over here as well. Here we have Sean Vaught, who did 42K in IUL in commissions in just his first month as well. Then we have Robert C here, who generated 48K in commissions in just 10 days. Now with Robert, he told us, he's like, hey, I'm kind of, ever hear the saying that old dogs can't learn new tricks? Now Robert only sold belly to belly. He did a lot of seminars, a lot of workshops. And then obviously when the pandemic hit, everything went to a halt. So we had to figure out this virtual realm. He had to figure out how to sell virtually. And that's why we have training that goes with it. There's a 5-hour training that goes over those text strategies, call strategies, closing strategies as well. And even here we have Jeanette talking about the training that goes with this. She's trained over 3,000 agents at this point, and she's been in the industry for over 30 years. And she said, you know what, this training is a whole new ball game that goes with it. Everybody should go through this training. So I thought that was pretty cool to get that testimonial, as well as we have Jeff here, who did 48K in annual premium in just 1 week. We have Kisa here, who did about 13,000 after 9 days, 48K in commissions in her first month. We have Billy here, who did 40,000 in commissions in his first month as well. One testimonial that I like to always show is Eric Ruggenberg here. Is at the first, when he joined the program, he was in the industry for a long time. I think it was 35 plus years. And when he joined us, he thought he could still sell the old way. He didn't want to go. He went through the training but didn't retain it. And then he fell flat on his face for about 2 weeks. Then he realized he was hearing all these testimonials from all these agents that they're winning. And he's like, you know what? The common denominator is myself. I need to be open and coachable to the process that goes with it. So then he abandoned his old way because, like I said before, you get accountability rep that works with you. And Gemma even asked, hey, do you want to continue doing it your way and failing, or do you want to be open and coachable to a new way to get results? And he's like, well, it's not working, so let's adapt. Let's go with the times. And he closed 28K in IUL annual premium in 1 week, just shifting his mindset, going through the training and learning and downloading the scripts and everything that goes with it. So he's like, I wish I would have left my ego at the door. I would have got a lot more results from there. Then we have Brett Grossman here, who did 2.8 million in annuities. Like I said before, we don't lead with a product, we lead with a strategy that goes with it. And the strategy you'll see momentarily is setting up a tax-free retirement account for themselves. That's what they're coming in to learn more. Then it's really that experienced agent to really assess, can they qualify for an IUL? Does it make more sense with the goals that they're trying to accomplish? Does it make more sense to go to an annuity route? So having that shift that goes with it. Then we also, this is just a screenshot of one of our clients' pipelines. So this is the system. This is that customer relationship management software, the CRM, that we set up for our agents. And as we can see, 24 consultations, 10 pitches, 6 closes. That's a pretty high conversion rate on internet leads that go with it. 18,500 in underwriting after 6 weeks. Now, I know I'm showing you all these wins, I'm showing you all these testimonials. It's not to brag or anything like that. We just want to be known, and what we're known for in the space is the agency that actually delivers results. I know that some of you guys who have been on this call have been burnt by agencies before. That's why we're so geared around results, period, is our core value here at Juicebox. And we get it again and again because of all the stuff that goes into our system to guarantee the results that go with it. Now,
Well, and I
before
think,
we, oh,
well, I think that's a good question too, Stephen, because I know you're, and that's one of the things that attracted us to you guys as well, is because you do have such a big emphasis on results. And I know you're showing, you know, a lot of wins out there, but you know, for the advisor out there, I mean, what's an average expectation somebody that's going to go into the program? I mean, what should things look like 90 days out?
yeah, great question. What we see typically happen again and again and again over and over on the low end is about that 5 to 10x ROI on their marketing dollars that they work with us because we make them more efficient. We've seen all the way up to 60x on very experienced agents, but consistently again and again, what they should expect is between that 5 to 10x.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome. So let's kind of take a step back. I always like making it crystal clear on where we're currently are at in our business and what we're trying to do. And then I like going high level and then breaking it down as well. So right away, what this transfers over to is a lot of people are pushing their business through the mud. They're waiting for things to open up so then they can do more belly-to-belly meetings, get more commissions, and they're riding the storm. They're working their book of business again and again and again. Now, referrals naturally happen when you're doing that strategy, but unfortunately, referrals isn't a marketing strategy. You can't pull a lever and then new referrals come in whenever you want. I wish it was that way because then the right agents would get more business coming their way. So what naturally happens is people want to have a consistent lead flow that goes with it. They want consistency. So what naturally occurs is they want growth. They want to scale up. So then they turn to lead vendors. Now, lead vendors just want to keep you on this hamster wheel. And when you pay them, their job's done. They give you the list, and you're always chasing that person down. We actually changed the sales psychology of less of a push to more of a pull, which means they're applying to work with you. They're creating an investor profile, raising their hands on the issues that they want to get addressed. And then it's just that experienced agent to really assess that individual and come up with a relevant plan for that person to set them up for retirement. And the reason why lead vendors don't work is because the leads are recycled. They usually, their business model is recycling that to as many IMOs, FMOs, agents as possible. That's their business model. They don't care what really happens on the back end of things. And they're usually with a free giveaway, Subway gift card, I heard, Amazon gift card, steak dinners. They're really doing these bait and switch. I was talking to a gentleman who spends about 10K on radio ads. And how they generate their leads, they were generating a lot of leads, but it was to get a free book that goes with it. And then what he found when he was reaching out to these people is all they wanted was the book. They actually didn't want to talk about life insurance at all. So then I asked him, okay, how long have you been doing this? He said 6 months. So okay, 60,000 you invested in. What's been your ROI on it? He's like, I think I might have closed a 6,000 annual premium that went with it. I was like, well, that's obviously not working. Are you ready to shift from that and actually use something that's going to educate them, qualify them? No bait and switches. Don't turn yourself into this timeshare salesperson, because that's a gross place to sell from as well. So our system is naturally designed to build the credibility as well as position you as that authority as well to guide them through their retirement needs that go with it. Because like I said before, as soon as they sell you that name, number, and email, their job is done. They don't care if you convert it or what happens with it. So one thing we got to be wary of is don't work with lead vendors. And lead vendors are kind of getting sneaky nowadays, is they're kind of like wolves in sheep's clothing. So really ask them, be like, what's the ad that they see? How are they coming into this funnel, and how do they get educated? How do they qualify? What does that actually look like? And that's why at Juicebox, we open the hood, we show you everything that we do, just because we want to show you what it actually looks like. The position that goes with it, because if you're not sure how the positioning of the call is going to go, you're already on a defense. You're already on an uphill battle. So I'm going to show you exactly how we avoid that side of things. But then we need a system. We need a system that we can tap into, that runs for us, to build that credibility, build that communication, and be able to sell in a virtual realm. I'll go into that as well. Now, you don't have to drive to meet prospects. If you want to drive your Lamborghini, you can do that on your free time in your suburbs. So you don't have to drive to prospects. All 350 of our agents are all selling virtually, spending precious time networking, how that's good. It's really hard to get business again and again from that. Seminars, workshops, how they used to work in the past aren't working today, even with everything being lifted. A lot of people are still wearied and coming in a fear mentality coming into those presentations as well. So a little weary that goes with it. But then they realize, okay, if I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that, how do I start selling virtually? And what naturally happens is people start realizing, okay, I need to sell virtually. What's the easiest threshold that goes with it? I go to LinkedIn, start reaching out to second and third connections, ask them for a 10 or 15-minute virtual coffee. Now, if you ever go to LinkedIn, you'll see it's so oversaturated. I have over 1,000 messages of people asking me for a 10 to 15-minute virtual coffee just to get to know me. And what I can tell you right away is they're just trying to pitch me again and again. So it's oversaturated. Same with what we want to make sure is when we're doing advertising, that there's a bit of friction point at the front, which means we get a high net worth individual. So the targeting has to be on, as well as making sure that that prospect actually wants what we have, that they're going through the friction point to make sure the quality comes through the system as well. So that's why we're going to go into exactly what we do here at Juicebox to do that filtering for you guys. Because insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I refer to this again and again by Albert Einstein, is obviously we got to a certain point because of all the knowledge that we had or the tools we had. But now we're starting to see other people already adapting to the virtual times and getting massive results because of it. So now it's like, okay, well, this got me here, but what's the new vehicle that's really going to start scaling my business and get me to the next level? And I assume that's why you guys jumped on the call, is to increase your IUL in 2 weeks. And that's exactly what we're going to go over. Now, like I said before, we have to train you on our system. There's a 5-hour training that goes with our program that you have to complete before we even launch your campaign. It goes over text strategies, call strategies, closing strategies. So then when I give you the keys and we hit play, you don't crash that expensive car, or you don't reach out to me and was like, okay, what do I do now? You're fully equipped to sell this way that goes with it. So when that lead comes in, you know how to facilitate that lead. That's why you see people closing in their first week and in their second week, because they're fully equipped when they hit that play button to close business right away. Now, kind of high level that goes into it is we eliminate your competition, which means we don't allow competition to happen. What we market is statewide, is how we market. And we look at the population density between the parameters of age as well as financial stability that goes with it. And what we look at is we look at a marketplace, look at those two key ingredients as well as the population. And we don't penetrate a market over 50%, which means there's only a certain amount of agents we can take on per state till we hit that cap. And if you ever talk to one of our agents that we work with, they'll tell you that we're very due diligence on that side of things, because a lot of marketing agencies will oversaturate. They'll shove as many agents as they can into a state and lower the quality of the leads. Now, I'd rather not do that. I'd rather have the quality remain really high and have agents with us for the last 5 years like we have. So that's why we honor that exclusivity. And if we ever part ways, you get to keep the database as well. We'll never be a lead vendor. We'll never recycle leads. You can't just buy leads from us. It's the full package that goes with it. But how do we educate? How do we qualify? I'm going to go deep into that as well, just so you know that the education is naturally designed to sell for you. I remember talking to an agent. He's like, this is all the conversations that I'm having with everyone when I'm starting to talk about tax-free retirement account. You just did it and put it on a page that goes into it. And I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like or talk about it. I know this, we're going to release this out, so couldn't show you the secret sauce underneath the hood. But if you book a call with us, we'll definitely walk you through that side of things. So a system, training, support, consistently turning a cold lead all the way into a buyer. And how do you control the volume as well? So let's go into key ingredient number one is we market statewide. So what this looks like is these are the 350 agents that we work with across state, kind of to honor that exclusivity of a lead. So what it looks like is if your territory is taken, we just put you on a wait list there, or we look at an additional state that we can go in for you, because everybody's selling virtually, so it doesn't really matter which state you're going into, except for I always warn, if you're not from New York, don't market in New York. As we all know, their policies and restrictions are a lot higher bandwidth as well. So we just look at a territory that's open, or we put you on a wait list as well that goes into it. Now, this is our 4-pillar process. So let's go high level and then start breaking it down. So the 4-pillar process is the audience, attraction, action, and acquisition. This is the complete customer journey somebody would go down to lead to a purchase. We create a problem with our marketing with an intense desire to solve. So then it would be nice if, how do I do this now? How do I start? Is this right for me? And who do I talk to? Now, these all have to occur to lead to a purchase. And when we walk somebody down this system, a complete, qualified, systematic, predictable path to ROI, this is where we track those KPIs to really look at that agent, because every agent is a little bit different, is we can figure out what's the bottleneck of the sales process for that agent to overcome that issue and get better results that go with it. This is kind of high level of what we do here at Juicebox as well, is we do a custom campaign geared around that tax-free retirement account. The geographic areas, we pick a territory that's open. Our demographic is between that 35 and 60. That's our sweet spot, because usually that younger demographic loves the sense that they have 10 or 15 years to accumulate their wealth in an IUL. That 55 and above loves the security that comes with annuity going into retirement. That's why you see we lead with a strategy, not just one product that goes with it. Now the targeting, this is where you turn to us for, is we only advertise on one platform. If an agency tells you that they market on this platform, this platform, this platform, is they're really pulling straws and they're not really experts at one thing. And we're experts on only targeting on Facebook. That's the only platform that we do. That's how we generate all of the leads for the 350 agents that we work with. And really the secret sauce that goes into it. Now we have 200 characteristics that gets us in front of that high income earner again and again and again. It's like rinse and repeat with friction points to make sure they actually want what we have here as well. And I'll go into that momentarily as well. And then we go into the system. Now, the system is the customer relationship management software. It's a CRM. We know a lot of agents had a CRM for this feature, CRM for that feature, CRM for that feature. And they just have so many different CRMs for different features. So we just in-house and built onto our CRM all the bells and whistles you need to start scaling as a top producer, as a $1 million producer, as well as if you want to build an agency side of things. So this leverages your time, gets your time back, goes over automated text, automated emails, multi-point contact profile, online scheduling, performance dashboard. There's a call system built into it with area code changes as well. And there's a lot more that goes into that, but I'll go into that momentarily as well. Then we go into the training. Now it goes over call strategies, text strategies, pipeline management, closing, mindset as well. Now, let's actually start getting into the meat and potatoes of it. This juicy steak, as I like to say, is this is how we start framing. So what does that prospect see? How do they come into this? What's the positioning? When's the handoff of this lead to that agent? And we're about to dive deep into it right now. So one thing we want to do is really take it from a commodity tactic to really positioning that agent as an authority, credible retirement income specialist that goes with it. And usually what happens is you come in for one, then you find their spouse is loving what is going on, so they want to get involved, their kids, their parents. What ends up happening is you become this wealth tree for this family that goes with it, especially when they start seeing what you can do for them on that side of things. So right away in our 4-pillar process is how do we get in front of this person? Is you help us with number one. Number two, I call it the KFC recipe, the shake and bake that we throw into the fire to really attract the right individual. But what's an ad that we post to attract the right individual, but repel the wrong one at the same time? Now, I'm going to geek out on marketing here with you guys because there's a lot of marketing psychology and strategy that goes on in play here. So this is an ad that we would post right here. So one thing you notice right away is we're not promoting from your business page. You don't need a business page for us to promote or run ads for you. Even if we did, it just looks like you're promoting yourself. Also, if they click on that link, the investing resource, but it would be your business page, is there's usually nothing on that page. It's usually blank that goes with it. When you use our investing resource page, there's credibility built into the back end of the page as well. So if they want to do their due diligence, they can. Then we go into the copy. Now, copy and marketing definitions is just selling in the written language. It's the text that goes into this ad, persuading somebody to take action. So the copy here is calling out an intelligent investor, 100K or more, talking about tax-free retirement account, talking about a financial vehicle that smart wealthy families have used to build tax-free wealth, generations after generations. Now, do you think somebody clicking on this ad is looking to learn, is looking to get a book, steak dinner, Amazon gift card? No, they're looking to set up a tax-free retirement account. They want to learn more about the strategy. That's why there's no bait and switches, there's no smoke screens. They're coming in for an outcome. And really the curiosity hook around it is why the wealthy don't have 401ks that go with it. Now, a good question comes up is what is this ad targeted towards? What's the demographic or what's the profession that naturally comes again and again through our advertising that goes with it? And what we see naturally that comes through is about 60 to 65% are business owners, there's executives, there's medical professionals, as well as veterans. A lot of veterans, like to give you an example, Mark closed a deal with a veteran who had 650 in a thrift savings account. He moved that over to Annuity for the veteran to set him up for retirement, to walk him through that path that goes with it. So when they click on an ad like this, is rather than them going to a survey where they fill out their name, number, email, talk to a representative in 24 hours or 48 hours, we know that's a broken customer journey. We know we can do better than just that. So what we do is we tie into here is a sales law. And the sales law is the law of reciprocity. And with the law of reciprocity, it states that when you give value to somebody, they feel innate to give 10 times value back. And that's exactly what we want to do right here in this resonancy frame in between. And this is where they get educated. And what do they get educated on? It overcomes objections and creates problems with a desired solution. So giving them that tax-free retirement accounts, key elements that go with it. But number one is skepticism. We overcome that objection for you, as well as usually with these high income earners is they usually have a financial advisor. So we know we have to overcome that objection. So we tackle that in 2 reasons. I won't go over those 2 reasons, but I'll definitely show you that page, or either myself or one of my sales advisors will walk you through how that education page kind of goes into. So we overcome that objection about having a financial advisor. Then we go into creating a problem. So really going after taxes, really going after, do you want to pay on the seeds of the harvest? Do you want to pay when you have the most amount in that account at the highest tax rate? Usually they won't say column B. They want to start really figuring out, how do I get tax-free income that goes with it? And that's where we give the solution. Now the solution is a tax-free retirement account, overcome skepticism. But then after they read through all this page and educate themselves, is the last question is, hey, would you like to see if you qualify for setting up the tax-free retirement account, the TFRA? And that's when they have to apply. This is where they create their investor profile that goes into it. And what is on that investor profile is important information like contact information, investment, source of income, retirement goals, health rating, zip code as well. As well as there's another question that we ask is, what's their preferred method of communication? Is it text, email, phone call? So deep psychologically, they're agreeing to communicating with you with one of the methods that go with it. Now, when they fill out this investor profile and they hit submit, is they're wondering to themselves, who did I just send that to? Did I just send that to Mark Zuckerberg to start marketing towards me, Lamborghinis? And what we want to do is take that fear out of the prospect's mind and match them with that local advisor. So your company name will be there, a picture of you, a slogan. The main purpose of this page is start building a relationship with you. Did I hear you, Curtis?
Well, yeah, so didn't want to interrupt you, but I guess one question, and going through, you'd shown the ad and everything, but we've got a mix of agents. Some guys are insurance licensed, some guys are securities licensed. How does compliance factor into what you're talking about?
Yeah, great question. So I think about 15% of the agents that we work with are security licensed. And all we need to do to get around compliance is really just add disclaimers on that education page to
Okay.
really clear that up.
Okay, and I think a good reminder too is, I know we've got a limited amount of time today, so we're doing a high level on this, but and we'll make this available for everybody. But if they want to schedule an individual consult, you'll actually go through and show them those pages and where we're going, all
Correct.
of that type of information, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. So just going back to this whole page is just start building a relationship with you. They see a picture of you, have your name, also painting the picture of what's going to happen next. We'll be touching base with you to complete your program qualification, answer any remaining questions you may have. So then when they match with you, that was just 1/3 of the equation, remember? So this was just generating the lead, starting to build that relationship. Now, after they match with you and have a picture of you, 5 minutes after, our system naturally kicks in. So we send out an automated text on behalf of that agent asking that prospect when would be a good time to book an appointment. So we're getting into that point momentarily. So that was just generating a lead. Now we're getting into the system that naturally runs for us to build that credibility that goes into it. So right away, you'll get an email uh, with that investor profile. You also get an SMS notification when a lead comes in. Then what happens is they get put into your pipeline. So as we can see, leads come in, call strategies, consultations, quoting and presenting is obviously that Zoom meeting where you can kind of show them what their current retirement strategy is, what's the new vehicle that's going to be better for them. Closing means application at that point submitted into underwriting. So when a lead comes in, this is the automated text that we would send out for you. Now to blur it a little bit, we're going to show you on when you book a call with us what gets said in there, but it's basically asking them for a time of when they want to connect that goes into it. So anytime in the morning or during the day. So this is when the ball is in the court of that agent to really respond back to them. Be like, how about 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, Wednesday? Question mark. And the reason why we lead with this strategy, instead of a lot of agents ask us, wouldn't it make more sense to have a calendar link go out on that initial text? So then they just book right into my calendar. I don't have to go back and forth here, and it would just be more efficient. And I always poke back. I always say, hey, we've tested and measured both strategies, having the link in that initial text that goes out, and also having this relationship building text that goes here. And what we saw with the link in it, we saw our show up rates and our conversions go down for those set appointments in the calendar compared to this relationship building that goes right here. It's because when they get a text and they ask for a time and they get a respond back, and they realize, hey, this isn't a system. This isn't a machine that's running. I'm not a number. I can actually talk to this trusted advisor on the other end. It starts solidifying that relationship. It's funny how humans are innately resonant to humans. That's why you don't see too many humans mirroring robots. Not yet. I assume you guys are all probably laughing over there. It's pretty good. Um, so the investor profile is on the left side there. Employed, married, 70 to 90K, excellent health. Uh, we have married, 120 or more, good health, prefers phone call as well. And one thing we do also, just because we know 10% of our clients' prospects still prefer booking that consultation via email. So we just make sure we cover and hit both our bases that go with it. So we send out an automated text on behalf of that person, as well as an email to book that call. Now, when this person, let's say if Adam wanted to call Desiree here, all he has to do is click this little green button above his name, and he would start calling her through our system. Now, calls are recorded for two purposes. One is if you're anything like me and you have 8 or 10 appointments a day, you're probably wondering what you said this morning. So it's really good to re-listen to those calls and then be able to build rapport, as well as because we guarantee results that go with it. Is if we notice a lot of agents are getting into that consultation, but not a lot of people to quoting and presenting, I can re-listen to those calls and coach that agent to be more efficient and strategic on that first initial call to get a better outcome, rather than that agent telling me it's one thing or another that goes with it. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to sell or I don't want to call people through the desktop. So that's why we have an app that goes with it as well, that goes over. You can send texts, emails, phone calls, all from there. One thing I always preference is on that quoting and presenting, don't do a slide deck on your phone. It's really hard. It's choppy. Always do it from either your office or your at home office that goes with it to do the quoting and presenting. Then what we do is we track all the numbers. So we look at all the numbers that go with it. And this is what we train and coach upon, looking at a high level of what do we need to work with this agent. Now, what's the number one factor in determining success with cold leads? It's the lead handling. It's not just getting a name, number, and email and just calling them and trying to educate them on who you are, what you can do, and all that fun stuff. It needs to come already built into that system, that they've raised their hand. They're like, yes, this is my problems. How can you solve this going forward? So we also know that there takes some skill development, implementation. So we just know we have to train you how to sell this way with a tax-free retirement account. That's why we have scripts. That's why we have slide decks that go with it. To really, because after training over 750 agents at this point, I know exactly the framework that needs to go with it. So even in the training that we give you, it goes over advanced objections that you're naturally going to have. So then you're fully equipped when they come up, how to handle those as well to get a better outcome that goes with it. So this is the 4-pillar process: is the audience, attraction, action, and acquisition. This is that evolution training. So you get access to this portal right away that goes over those text strategies, call strategies, closing strategies. It's not like a classroom where you log in and everybody's there. You can go through that at your own time that goes with it. But we don't launch your campaign till you've passed the little exam, a little test to make sure you retain some of that information. And we have ongoing support. So what that looks like is we have a triage model. And what is a triage model? Triage model is if you submit a ticket, it'll go to the right person who can actually solve that. So if it has to do with sales or marketing, it'll come to me. If it has to do with, hey, I lost my login and password, it'll go to the back end of the team who can help you get that quicker than I would be able to do it. Here's Keegan talking about how we're a sales coach combined with a marketing partner. So we'll obviously take care of all the marketing side of things. We want to train you and coach you on the sales side of things to make you more efficient. And Keegan added 4 new agents after 3 months utilizing our system. After 2 months at 18,500. I can still bombard you guys with more testimonials. don't think I need to do that. Like 36,000 IULs after 1 week. We have 24 submitted in just 2 weeks. What is very important is Daniel here, following the process, staying consistent. A little bit about Daniel is he's done about 280K in 90 days that he's been working with us, just because he's persistent and following the process that has been laid out in front of him. He's like, all I need to do is show up and just keep doing the cadences that go with it. So the ability to have new volume, to not have a dip up and down, because then you consistently know how much new volume of business is coming in, is a very powerful thing to have. But we always like to set the stage as well. Does it sound like a silver bullet? Is this too good to be true? We want to tackle that as well. Now, one thing why agents fail is, number one, is focus. We want an agent who's going to submerge themselves into juice box, really going to go through the training, dedicate between 15 to 30 hours per week utilizing our system. We've turned a lot of agents into $1 million producers because they submerge themselves into this program. We're not just another leg on agents marketing that go with it, that they're just getting leads from us. If they want a lead vendor, we're not a good fit, because we know they need to go through the training. We know we need to coach them and train them on this side of things. So we need somebody who's laser focused, experienced as well, and closing ability and accountability and coachability is a big one that we wave the flag over and over again. We need somebody consistently selling IUL or cash value whole life for at least a year, confident closer, product focus, coachability. Now, we don't train you on the different products or because there's so many different products out there. So we just expect that agent to already have that knowledge going into it. It's just connecting somebody who's experienced, who knows what they're doing, with a high net worth individual, and then they service it from there that go with it. So then we're a match made in heaven for those individuals. Plus, if they want to sell virtually. Now, what it looks like to work with us, it's a 90-day program. And the reason why it's 90 days is because it gives us a good runway to really make you more efficient utilizing our system, as well as it gives you the ability to prove to us you're willing to work the system. So we go on a few dates instead of getting married right away, because you never marry the first person you meet, except for there was 2 guys that I've talked to who actually did that, which I was kind of impressed by. So this is what the roadmap looks like to work with us, is right away, you book a welcome call with the client success team. They get you access to the training while they're building everything out from the information they gather from that welcome call. Is you're going through the training, and then they do a campaign review everything that they've created for you. So then you get a PDF version, you can see everything that goes with it, as well as then they quiz you on the training on that call. So make sure you retain and gather that information. Then when pre-launch call, we give you a lead, watch you facilitate that lead, text strategies, call strategies, closing strategies. On average, it takes about 12 days to launch, and that's officially when the 90 days starts. That's when the 3 months kicks off. We just show this from an onboarding perspective as well as timelines. Then what we do is a progress review, and that's what the client success rep that works with you. You'll be assigned to one right away, and that person is gonna show you what you're doing great from a quantitative standpoint, what you need to work on, and how do you get more efficient. So they're going to hold you accountable to those results that go with it. And then optimize sales. So we do pipeline analysis where we dive into your pipeline, look at all the opportunities there, give you step-by-step on how to reactivate them and sell them into a new retirement vehicle. So after 90 days, recap, then it just goes month to month or quarter that goes into it. Now, it's a risk-free guarantee with us, because honestly, if you sell one policy, we're not looking just to break even. We obviously want to get a lot more, but it's risk-free guarantee with us, but it has to be an action-based guarantee. So complete the program qualification, follow the proven sales process, use the CRM to track the sales activity, use the CRM to make the calls, use the CRM to text, and be committed and coachable to the process, and you'll win again and again. It's proven. 350 agents all winning because they followed this structure. Now, this is the average that you can expect from a lead perspective, is between that 75 to 150 plus leads in 90 days utilizing our system. So this is the evolution training that you get access to right away. This is the virtual selling masterclass that goes with it. So dynamic objection handling, principles of sales mastery, virtual selling toolkit, videos, anything that we talk about we do weekly coaching as well, gets uploaded to this. So it's always getting updated with new results, as well as new strategies that we've tested and proven to work again and again and again. And then we have the proven ad copy design. You don't have to worry about budgets. You don't have to worry about landing pages, smart forms, design, hosting, optimization, client success team, and an ongoing support, the CRM, the dashboard, weekly coaching. So hopefully you don't mind my voice. If you ever come into the program, you'll see me every Wednesday doing the sales coaching call with Jim. We do that every Wednesday with Brian, who does a tech call on Thursday. So any advanced tech that you want to implement, they'll have that, as well as any sale objections or any bottlenecks we'll tackle on the sales coaching call as well. All our $1 million producers show up to these calls and give best practices that go with it, which is really cool how everybody's open and sharing knowledge that goes with it. And then the soft phone recording, automate emails, automate texts, and this is just a big value stack that goes with it. And what we always like to do is separate ourselves from our competition, because all they focus on is leads, leads, leads. All they think is leads is going to be get them to where they want to be. And we know that not to be a case. So Kisa here is used to spending 13K plus after 9 days. She's at 48K her first month. She's used to spending $60 a lead. And around 100 leads that she would get is 6,000. But obviously, there's a lot more that goes into this right here. The evolution training, the training, support, coaching that goes with it. And that's where Alan talks about that side, the training, the CRM, and how he generated 60,000. A little bit about Alan is he's actually in New Mexico. He's also marketing in New Jersey as well. So he's marketing in 2 states now, because you can start scaling up as well into different territories. Which would a 10x return on the program be fair? Divide 60,000 by 10, we have 12,000 that goes with it. And what it looks like to invest with us and start working with us is we have this option here. This is for the full 90 days, but let's break it up because sometimes cash flow is tight. Is option 1 is $64.97 for the full 90 days, risk-free guarantee, 75 to 150 plus exclusive leads over 90 days. Or option 2 is 3,000, 2,000, 2,000, which is 7,000 altogether. After the 90 days, it's 2 weeks when we're about to hit that mark, is my team will reach out to you and ask you, hey, do you want to go month to month? Do you want to go quarter? What does it look like to proceed further? That goes into it. And we've had agents ask for a year. Unfortunately, we don't do a year because just in case somebody gets sick, especially what's going on in the world today, is we'd rather be able to put it on pause. That goes with it. So as you can see, we either do month to month at that 2,000, 25 to 50 plus leads. And then option 2 is that prepaid for the 90 days as well. Now, I know I covered a lot there, guys, and I really appreciate you guys staying on all the way to the end. Now I'm going to hand it over to Curtis, kind of talk about what next steps look like. And I just want to say thank you for everybody staying on, and thank you, Curtis, for having me.
Absolutely, Stephen, and I appreciate you taking some time with us today. So I'm gonna launch our final poll here, and so we'll launch up here is if you're interested in getting additional information on Juicebox, if you're interested in scheduling a consult, go ahead and check yes or no on the poll. As you're going through this, I know you covered a lot of information in that time frame, Stephen. One question that popped up was technology is obviously a core element of what you guys do. How tech savvy does somebody have to be if they want to do this system?
Yeah, great question. What we look for is at least somebody who's been kind of submersed in a CRM before, has utilized it, kind of know the ins and outs of it. We still have training that goes with it to transition over to ours. But they also have to be familiar with Zoom as well, how to log on, how to present, how to pull up slides as well. So there's a little bit of a gap, and we train how to overcome those, but we expect the agent to have some capabilities on those 2 fronts.
Okay. And that's what I would tell you too, is a lot of our agents are obviously over the course of the last year have gotten very proficient with Zoom. Another question I had, and we talked about Stonewood in the past, but you had mentioned that you guys provide some different types of presentations. Can you talk about that a little bit? Does the agent have to use that, or if they've got a presentation that they like and they want to use, how does that work?
Yeah, excellent question. If you're using one right now and it works, use that one. We just noticed a lot of agents were underserved and were really presenting very elaborate, very confusing plans because they're not supported like you guys are here at IAMS. Everything that IAMS does makes it super simple, really gets them crystal clear, especially with Stonewood. So use what's working. We just created that for a resource for the agents that were a little bit underserved, so then they can utilize those from a marketing standpoint to close more business that go with it. But like you said before, Stonewood I know works with you guys over here. So use whatever you prefer to close business that goes with it.
Okay. So those are the two main questions I think we had. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to close this poll down here. So here's what I would tell everybody. We formed a partners juice box. We've got several advisors in the system at this point, and what I can tell you uh, is that we consistently are getting the same feedback from the agents that we have actively doing the system right now, which is that it's a high quality prospect. It's somebody that is concerned about the impact of taxes on retirement. And we've consistently seen that. We've consistently seen a very high quality entry point for having conversations with new prospects. In fact, what I would tell you is in the scope of all the casework that we've been running here since we've started doing the system, and the smallest case that we've even illustrated was a $500 a month uh, case. And so we're seeing consistency in what Stephen and his team do. We're seeing consistency in the quote requests. We're seeing consistency in the business that's coming in. And so I do think that this is a great opportunity if you're working in this marketplace and you're looking to generate a consistent flow of prospects. This is something that you need to take a look at. And I think there's never been a better time to use a platform like this when, we've got right now in the news and the media about the specter of increased tax rates. There's a lot of individuals that are making good income that are really concerned about that and they're looking to meet with somebody. So Stephen, I appreciate you taking some time out of your day. I know you're busy. I know we went over a little bit, so I appreciate everybody taking time with us today as well on the call, and look forward to following up with all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.